You wake up with plans. You promise today will be different, but somehow nothing changes again. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. So why does your life feel stuck on repeat? Every day looks the same. Same thoughts, same patterns, same silent frustration. You try to push harder, but nothing really moves. Here's what most people believe. You just need more discipline. But here's what you don't see. That idea is incomplete. And this is where it changes everything. What if something deeper is holding you back? Something quiet, something invisible? Because the truth is, you're not stuck because you can't move forward. You're stuck because your mind is keeping you safe. You probably tried everything. Motivation videos, new routines, big goals. For a few days, it works. You feel focused. You feel in control. You finally feel progress. Then suddenly, everything drops. The energy disappears. The drive goes quiet again. You don't even know why. It just fades without warning. So you blame yourself. You think, I just need to try harder. But this cycle keeps repeating. Start, stop, regret, repeat. You push harder each time, but fall even faster. And slowly, doubt starts growing inside you. You begin to believe something is wrong with you. But here's what you don't see. This pattern is not random. It's designed. And the moment you see it, everything starts to make sense. Most people think they're stuck because they lack discipline. They believe they're just not strong enough inside. So they push harder every day. They force themselves to act even when it hurts. But the harder they push, the faster they burn out and stop again. Because discipline is not the real problem here. And this is where most people get it wrong. The real problem is hidden under something deeper. Something you don't notice while trying harder. You've been taught to chase motivation, to wait until you finally feel ready. But that feeling never stays for long. It comes and then quietly disappears again. So you keep restarting your life again and again. Each restart feels heavier than the last one. Here's a mistake. You think the problem is your effort, but actually your brain is protecting a version of you that feels safe staying stuck. Your mind doesn't care about success. It only cares about keeping you safe. Even if your life feels stuck, your brain sees it as familiar and predictable. And familiar always feels safe to your mind. Safe means no risk, no unknown, no threat. But here's what you don't see. Change feels dangerous to your brain. New actions feel uncertain. And uncertainty feels like danger inside you. So every time you try to improve your life, your mind quietly pulls you back again. Not loudly, not aggressively. Just small delays, small distractions, small excuses. You don't even notice it happening because it feels like your own choice. That's the trap. You think you're choosing comfort, but actually your mind is choosing it for you. Think about this for a second. Every habit you have is built on repetition, not logic, not deep thinking, just actions repeated again and again. Your brain creates patterns to save energy. It wants things to run on autopilot. And once a pattern is formed, it tries to keep it exactly the same, even if that pattern is holding you back, even if it's quietly ruining your progress. So when you try to change your life, you're not just starting something new. You are breaking an old identity. And this is where resistance begins. Your brain pushes back in small ways. Do it later. You're tired. Just one break. It sounds harmless in the moment, but those small moments take control away because your brain wants things predictable. And predictable often looks like staying stuck. Once you see this, everything starts to change. The same patterns feel different when you notice them. You stop blaming yourself for everything. You stop calling yourself weak or lazy. You realize this isn't about willpower at all. And this is where it changes. It's about awareness in the right moment because a trap only works when you don't see it. The moment you notice the pattern, you interrupt it. That delay, you pause and question it. That excuse, you don't accept it so quickly. You look at it instead of following it. And suddenly, you're not reacting anymore. You're choosing what to do next. That's the shift from being controlled to being conscious. And that small shift is where real change begins. If you don't see this trap, you stay in a loop. Days pass, then months, then years quietly disappear. Nothing really changes in your life. Only your frustration grows a little stronger. You keep planning a better future, but you never fully live it. And slowly, your confidence begins to fade. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Not because you failed badly, but because you never fully tried. That's the real cost you don't see. Not failure, but staying stuck in potential. And the longer you stay there, the harder it feels to move forward because your mind keeps getting stronger at keeping you exactly where you are. So how do you break it for real? Not with motivation, not with pressure, but here's what actually works: awareness. And this is where it changes everything. Start noticing your patterns each day. When you delay, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this real or just comfort? That one question can interrupt the loop. Make small moves instead of big ones. Because big changes trigger strong resistance. Small actions slip through without pressure. They feel easy, so your mind accepts them. Don't wait to feel ready anymore. Act before your mind starts to argue. And most importantly, repeat it daily. Because new patterns need time to grow. You're not forcing change anymore. You're training your mind to accept it. And slowly, what felt hard becomes normal. That's how you finally escape the trap. You were never truly stuck. You were just unaware of what held you back. Now you see it clearly. And once you see it, you can't unsee it again. The next time you hesitate, you'll notice it. The next time you delay, you'll question it. And that's where everything begins to change. Not in one big moment, but in small decisions. But here's what you don't see. Those small decisions shape your entire life. Because your life doesn't change when you feel ready. It changes when you act before your mind stops you. You stop waiting. You start choosing. And that is where real control begins.